Picky Old Gamer here. This is the first of the new series I've been wanting to do. A real quick overview. Picky reviews will be done when I can on certain games that I really like to nitpick. The word picky in my name is not there just because I am nitpicky a lot of times. I'm not going to do every game I play or beat because I don't beat a lot of them due to time constraints and work and everything. But when I find one that I really want to talk about, you'll get a new picky review. So, the first game I'm going to ever go through on the picky review is Axiom Verge. It's been out for a few years, but just came out on October 5th of this year. Or excuse me, last year. This is January 1st. Happy New Year. It came out on the Nintendo Switch. I just never got around to play it. Probably other things came out, and it's one of those things I'm like, really, do I really want to play it? Or is it as good as I think it's going to be? So I finally got it. It was on sale for $15.99. I got a little $10 card for the holiday season, so it ended up being $5-something bucks. Normally $20 on the eShop, and there's a bigger version coming out. And to let you know what picky reviews are real quick before I keep going into this, they're not going to be popular. I'm going to really tear a game apart as much as I can. And some games, if they're that good, they're going to hold up. This game doesn't, I'm not going to score it nearly as high as a lot of people. Axiom Verge is a Metroidvania style game. It is pretty much a Metroid game, and it is a very, very good game. But it's not perfect. And why I say it's not perfect is that it seems like every time I read some of the reviews, and I'm looking here real quick, IGN gave it a 7.9. So they gave it closer. I'm a little to what some of the people do. Another Metacritic has got 86%. But some people just look at it and go crazy and just think, oh, this is really good, this is new, and they're going to give it a high review. And I'm not going to do that. Tom Happ was the single solitary developer on the game. And I understand that. So I do take that into account that one man was doing all this as a side project. But there's 3 big problems with this game. Now let's get this out of the way and talk about the graphics. Look really good. Some places are a little bland, but it's 8-bit graphics and it looks good. The sound is ridiculously good. There's no problems I have with the sound. There's a couple of that damn songs stick in my head because I've been powering through this game this small vacation, 3-day holiday weekend with the New Year's, and I played the holy hell out of this game because I really wanted to do a picky review on it, and the music sticks in my head. The controls are fairly good. They're damn good. But there's sometimes, and I thought about knocking a half a point off for this, and I might still do it. Like I said, I'm kind of in these videos. I may on the fly change some of my reviews and bring it down or bring it up. But sometimes the controls just don't respond quite well. Like I said, I just beat it a little while ago today, and I'm trying to get my character to do one of the movements. And it does most of the time, and sometimes it just ignores it. So it's not perfect. It's not perfect or anything, but it's really good control. So I don't think I'm going to recount all for it. Like I said, I like to do these on the fly, but the controls are mostly good, very good. So let's get into what's wrong with this game. The first big thing that I knock a full point off of is level design. Backtracking and getting stuck. Now, I've read a lot of stuff on GameFAQs, Steam forums. I had to look up some stuff on this game. And I found a video that I think I'm going to put below about a place where, just to be honest, it was a place where many people got stuck. This person was like, hey, I'm going to show you how to get past this, because it even stopped me from doing a review on it. And it's a mechanic that was never talked about in the game or showed ever since. So, again, that is a huge problem to me. There's a point in this game where you just get stuck unless you luck up and kind of do some of your secondary abilities around and you find it. You find this thing, and I'm not going to try to tell you what it is, but when you go search for I am lost here, and it pops up everywhere, and you have even a YouTube video, a bunch of YouTube videos showing you how to do it, and this guy was like, hey, I've tried to review this game and I got stuck. It's a problem. It's not me making this up. The rest of this, the problem is backtracking is fine in Metroidvanias. I've played a bunch of them on the DS system. I love those games. But if you make somebody backtrack so much without any type of fast travel system, there's no fast travel system. It gets old. It's not a very big game, but I was at the end of the game and I didn't backtrack enough to get one weapon that made the final boss much more manageable, and then once I did that and get all the way back to the end, then I beat him without much problem. But as you go forward in the game, the programmer, he expects you to go all the way back and look at everything else. Now you want to do that in a lot of games, but if you're just going forward and trying to beat a game so that you could just get it done in a weekend, or you want to review it, there should be what I call checks and balances. There should be, if you go forward and you hit every little nook and cranny that you can, usually you should get enough of your abilities, power-ups, weapons, that you shouldn't have to then backtrack so many times. This wasn't implemented in this game, and it's a big negative, along with the design that there's in one place a lot of people got stuck, and a lot of other places people were just like all over on these forums going, where the hell am I going? I can't figure stuff out. Now some people, a random few, said they never got lost, and there are some good people out there that will never get lost. So that's one point off for it. The next is the enemy design. Oh dear God, the enemies range from very creative to stupid, and basically they attack you physically, a physical attack. And I have deemed this, even when I was mad at this game and playing it, pixel humping. What do you mean? Pretty much they just stay right on top of it, and then they clip. They are right on top of you to the point where if you don't dodge out of the way, or later on it's a lot easier with the new abilities you get, they're right there near you, on top of you, and you can't hit them, and it's absolutely stupid. I get when enemies that are melee want to stay on you and attack, but even some of the flying enemies will just dive bomb you and stay right there while also shooting, and it's like, dude, is that all the way you programmed this game, was pixel humping? There were some times where I didn't know what was going on, and I get in a new area, and it just, boom, I'd have a problem. I'm about to lead into the next point, but and then on top of this, some of them dart away, and some of these enemies can clip through the fucking walls. You'd have these little enemies, they stay right on top of you. You just can't get them off because they clip on top of you, which is irritating. At least they should, their hitbox should stay on the other side of you, not clip on top of you. Then they go off into the wall, literally into the wall, and you can't shoot them. And finally, real quick, there's a few that have splash damage, and the splash damage clips through the little walls. There's places, you've seen Metroid with these little block walls. You can get hit through them because of splash damage. So that's a whole point off. We're down to 8 out of 10. The enemy, it just don't take much. They could redesign those to where they wouldn't overlap you and clip through you, and just back off a little bit and have some patterns, have some attack methods, and they cannot clip through any wall that you can't go through. Yeah, it'd be fine. But sometimes you have to just play this game running around trying to dodge as much as you can and playing it so carefully that it kind of ruins the feel of a Metroid game. It really does. And it could have been improved on. And the last big point, and I'm not going to take a whole point off for this. I thought about it, and I don't think I can. I think about it. I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking as I go through this, but it's the difficulty spikes. And you can go ahead and start Googling Axiom Verge difficult, and then difficulty spike. It's there. People are like, what? Wow, where did this come from? Where are the difficulty spikes? What happened? So again, it's on the internet. People have said this since 2015 when it came out. And the game has been patched and changed. So when I was looking at a few bosses that are really hard, and people were just years ago saying, this is insane. This boss is stupidly hard. Some little tricks were patched out to where they were even worse. And you know, there was so much. I'm gonna do this on the fly, and I was going to give this game 7.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I'm knocking this thing up to a point off. I'm gonna put this over top of me here. This is real quick what it looked like when I ended the game. I took a screenshot in the Switch. This over 15 hours. 15 hours that probably a good part of that was me either, difficulty spots, retrying. A couple of bosses were horrible to where I try, and then backtrack, and finally, I probably could pull off 3 hours or so about that. On top of that number, the backtracking was so much of a pain in the ass, I probably could have easily been under 10 hours. So I'm not saying that, it has to be a quick game, but 15 hours and a lot of that, and some of that was just damn well irritation. That once I got this game done and beat today, I don't feel like ever picking it up again. And that's sad. It's not like it's a horrible game. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. A full 7 out of 10. And the thing about it is if you would go through and fix, you could fix the enemies, make them have some common sense, fix some of these difficulty ramp ups, and even with the backtracking and stuff like that, maybe that's part of his difficulty because it was very small. I get it's one man. He was really dedicated doing this. He spent a few years doing this as a side project. I get that. You could easily get this thing up to 8.5, in my book, 8.5, 9 out of 10. But there's just so much irritation, so much backtracking, so much enemies that are just cheap, go outside the walls, and just difficulty spikes that just ruin the fun of the game. Sorry, dude, Mr. Hap, that you programmed this, but it's good. But you have some big bugs into it, or that was put into it, and that's it. That's the only thing I can say. Axiom Verge is a good 7 out of 10 game. It needs some work, but after a few years of being out, I don't think we're ever going to get these patched. So take the, go into this. You may not have these problems. You may like really difficult games. Even people cranking this thing up on hard say it's pretty darn difficult, but I don't know. This is my first picky review. They're not going to always be popular, but I'm going to be honest with you what games tick me off, and I'm just going to nitpick stuff that, well, they irritate me. So tell me what you think in the comments below, and please click subscribe and share, and please hit thumbs up. I appreciate all the people that have been subscribing, around 750, really close to it. I'm slowly gaining ground, and I hope to get up to 800 soon, and then on to 1,000. I do appreciate everybody that watches. And click that notification bell if you want to see more of my new videos. All right, everybody. PKO Gamer.